right, thanks for waiting, everyone. We'll have an opening statement from Coach Dorrel, followed by questions for players, dismiss them, and then have questions for Coach Dorrel. So, AD, we'll let you go.
Thanks, Nate. I guess let me start with our defense. I just thought we played really, really well on defense. We came into the game and we said we weren't going to let Levance beat us today, running the football and catching passes, and I thought we did a great job of that. We did a lot of really good things on defense today, but I've been here a long time. I don't know if I've seen a consistent pass rush like I saw today from our kids on the D-line. And linebackers, when they were blitzing, were getting home. I thought they were using moves to get around running backs and tight ends, and I just thought we harassed that kid the entire day. And I thought it set a tempo and just kind of a mindset for our entire football team. Offensively, thought we did some good things. We were balanced. The two things that just really stick out in my mind, because of some injuries right now, George Seal and Quanzi Johnson, what they did today. I was doing some talking outside, and as a coach, you can train your kids all you want and you can practice all you want, but until the kids step on to the field in a competitive environment when the game's in the balance and actually make plays, it's hard for them to take that next step as an athlete. So I thought those two kids took their next step as an athlete today. I'm just very proud of those guys. Quanzi's waited very patiently, and he's waited very patiently. Yeah. And I'm just very proud of him. I really am. He's a good kid and great to see. And then I thought we just were balanced. Thought our quarterback played well up front. Bobby was back certainly, and thought him and Phil did a good job of hitting it and finishing runs. And I thought we wore them down a little bit and just flip over to special teams. There are a couple things we got to get fixed there, but we're still doing some really good stuff on special teams. So today I thought was a very, very big win for our football program. You look at our schedule and we have it on our steps. I thought we beat a good football team today. And so, you can look at Kearney and look at Missouri Southern, and not to take anything away from them, but I felt like today was our first huge challenge of playing a team that was good on offense, defense, and special teams. And so to win like we did, just proud of our kids. Great day.
All right, questions for the players?
Matt, you guys ended up with 8 sacks today as a unit. How were you guys able, as a defensive line, to wreak so much havoc in the backfield?
Coach Wright put us in great spots. This morning went over their pass protection and stuff like that, and really showed us their weaknesses. And we got after it. It was Scott Bostwick day. That's what today is. We played for him. He's done so much for a lot of us older guys that, this kind of have to repay him this way. Kind of mark the calendar every year on this day, and I'm glad we showed up and had a great defensive start.
Seemed like the individual matchups on the offensive line, you really just overpowered them. How much did you take it on as a challenge, and how much did you guys feel like you were really winning that battle all day long? Yeah,
I thought we won a lot of those battles, especially inside. I thought our insides played awesome today. But, you go at each week and you look at the strengths and weaknesses and try to capitalize off that. And Coach Wright has ideas, moves, stunts, and stuff like that. We'll capitalize on their weaknesses and allow us to kind of make some plays.
Collin, you and Matt were a little banged up coming into this football game, but especially early on and just carrying on throughout. How fun was it to be able to kind of blow through the line and continue to meet him in the backfield and just continue to wreak havoc throughout the ball game?
Oh, it was fun. We were going back and forth all game. Who had the most sacks during the game? It was fun to be out there having a good time.
Is that big for you guys? Those, obviously come out and win the ball game, but the individual battles of, I want to one up that guy and take down the quarterback a few more times, get that tackle for loss.
Yeah, that was a great. Their offensive line is big. It's probably the biggest offensive line we faced this year, and they had some good things. They did some good things, but we really picked out some of the things that we could capitalize on. I feel like we did a good job on that.
Eric, especially there in the first half, how important was it for you guys to give up very little yardage on first and second down to force those third and longs?
Yeah, it's awesome to start a game off the right way. That's what we didn't do the last couple of weeks. So to start off right is always fun, and get the ball to our offense, who's good at putting the ball in. Try to give them short porches, but and just trying not to give the offense confidence is something that we try to focus on and what we tried to work on all week.
Eric, early on, you guys faced some adversity with some short fields against you. How much, how are you able to respond to that? And I know they scored on the one short drive, but the other two, you really came after them and put them in some long situations.
Yeah, we're always taught, and they always preach that no matter where the ball is spotted, we're going to come out there and do our best, and we're not going to let them score. That's just a mentality we've always had, and it really resonates with all of us that it doesn't matter if they get on the 2-yard line, the 20-yard line. We're going to put the ball on, and we're going to make it as hard as possible for them to score.
Robert, for you getting a pair of touchdowns there, both in the second half and later in the third quarter and early fourth quarter, I think, to get those and know that you did expand it out to 31-7 and kept opening that lead up and really pushing Central Missouri out of it. How big was this offense to really put a foot in their throat there late in the third?
It was great. We preach on finishing games, doing our part, and I think our O-line and outside guys did a great job of executing up front. They had a great push. Yeah.
Robert, being able to come out here today and finally get on the field, how much fun did you have? It seemed like you really got in the groove there as the game wore on.
It was real fun. I was sitting out a few games, but our coaches preached preparation. So the first 2 games, I was keeping my head in the game, staying mentally focused. And when I came out today, it felt like I was still there, still doing my thing. And like I said, our O-line did a great job of executing up front, and I was reading my huddles.
Eric, we talked at the luncheon about the challenge of facing Bevins Taylor today. He had 7 total yards on the day after running rushing for 280 last week. Was it as easy as it looked out there?
No, they brought their A game today, and but it's about doing your job. I think if we hadn't done our job, they would have put up 270 yards against us. But our defensive line did an awesome job of keeping guys off of me and DJ and everybody else that played. So it makes it a lot easier when you got a front four like these guys.
How are you able to keep him inside and not allow him to break out for those long runs?
Yeah, we're just always trying to make him stop his feet. If he got downhill, he's fast, probably faster than most guys on the defense. He was probably going to be gone. So everybody's staying in their gap, not trying to be selfish and make plays that aren't there. So everybody did their job today.
Robert, the offense kind of showed that it doesn't rely on just one player out there. I mean, even when one guy gets hurt and can't play, or one guy goes out during the ball game, different guys stepping up throughout. What's that like, looking around the huddle and knowing that at any point someone makes that catch, you break out that big run that can really put the game out of reach?
It's great knowing that we got a lot of guys, both starters and backups, who's helping us out. We're versatile pretty much, and anybody can help us out on the offense. So it feels good.
Anything else for the players? All right, thanks, guys.
Good job, guys.
That's awesome.
Thanks. Cramping.
You were running like that. All right, we'll have questions for Coach Dorrel.
We spoke about the defensive effort, but did you expect that, obviously you have a good line, but you'd be blown through there quite as much as you did?
I thought we were going to play really good defensively today. I did. Yep. Our preparation was good all week, and yeah, I expected us to play that well today on defense. I did.
Overall, the group of, not only what you had coming back from last year, but how these guys continue to grow. Is this a showing of this is one of the most fierce defensive lines you've seen all your years at Northwest?
It'd be tough. There's been some good ones. I wouldn't be prepared to say that right now, no.
We've already talked about Bevins Taylor a little bit, only getting 7 carries. Do you think that jumping out and getting that early lead kind of took him out of the game a little bit, and how important was that?
I think so. I think anytime you can get a lead, you can always talk about trying to be patient and stay with your game plan, but it's hard as a coach to do that. And our guys do a good job of not getting outnumbered in the box before the ball's snapped, and they probably looked at that a little bit. They're good coaches and said, well, You know, it's going to be tough sledding in there right now today, and probably try to go a little bit the other way with that, just trying to keep their kids in good positions.
I know
You know, your defense was in their face all day today. Bobby and Phil had those tough runs in between the tackles, and Jason had some nice catches in traffic. Do you feel like you guys are kind of forming an identity of, you know, just being tough?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I guess to answer that, the one thing that's really resonating with that is we're back in what we call this Haas package. And, you know, this is our third week of doing it, and we bring Bevo in here. Bevins comes in at the other tight end, and Volstick comes in. Maloli can be on it. Sherman can be on it. And, you know, there was a stretch in the mid-2000s where we were really good with that package. And we just, through recruiting and injuries the last few years, haven't been able to do it. And kind of got the idea late July that, man, maybe we should try to do it with some defensive guys. And those kids have really bought into it. But, you know, there was third down calls today. I think we were around 5 for 14 on third down. But I knew where we were at on the field position. We ran on some of those third downs knowing we were going to go for it on fourth down. And those kids, when they execute that package like that, gives you a lot of confidence as a coach. So, yeah, we're trying to form that identity. I don't think we're quite there yet, but I think we're working to get there.
in the first half, field position battle, obviously you had a couple plays on special teams that put them with short fields. How big was it to get those stops and not allow them to?
Oh, it's huge. Like Eric talked about, it's just a mindset. Rich always talks about just put the ball down, we're going to play. And again, that's something you can talk about until your kids buy into it and actually go out and do it. Again, I think it gives a lot of confidence. They give a lot of confidence to the rest of our football team right now when they do that. And so it's huge.
I know the first weekend, maybe a little last week too, you talked about some guys being out of position on some plays where they got some big runs, but this week it seemed like you were in position almost all the time.
Yeah, it sure did. And, you know, I don't know where you sat, where it's hard where I'm at to see. It's really hard to see the backside, those cutback lanes and things of that nature, but I feel really good that we were in position today from what I saw, and I thought we tackled really, really well today. So, I mean, those are two things we've really tried to grow on since week one.
They're late in the first and then early in the second. You had the muff punt from Kevin and then the fumble from Corey. How were you guys able to overcome those two plays that really could have been swings the other way?
Well, Kevin's was huge, obviously, because the momentum just swings, and it's so deflating to get off the field and have to run right back on there defensively. But again, I thought stopping them there just really kind of set the tempo for the rest of the game. And then, you know, Corey's, I'll have to look at that on film. It was one of those deals where the positioning of his catch didn't allow him to have good ball security. But like I said, I got to look at that again on film. And
did you feel like it was a fumble from the sideline?
oh, we better just move on.
Can you talk about bringing in Randy Schmidt, have that big touchdown
Randy.
pass? Has that been in
It has.
up the sleeve for a while?
We just keep growing his package, you know. In our program, and it has been for years, if a kid does a good job, you give him a little bit more. And so Randy, they gave him a little bit week one, he had a little bit more last week, and then today, he let that thing go. I thought he overthrew him, and I'm like, I just turned around and told him, I said, Randy, don't overthrow him. At least give us a chance to get a PI. And he let that thing go, and I don't know where you guys were at, but I thought for sure he overthrew Jason. And he's dynamic right now because we bring him in. You know, last week at Southern, we were bringing him in at quarterback and putting Brady split out, and today we didn't do any of that. We just lined Randy up at receiver, and so he can. Where a guy like that helps you when you go on the road and you can only take a certain amount of guys. He's got to be able to be the third string quarterback and play receiver too, and so it's been fun to watch him grow with that role.
That play and going for it on 4th and 1 there in the third quarter. You know, are you getting to that point with the offense where you're having some confidence to take some risks like that to get the reward?
Yeah, I am. But again, it all goes back to that Haas package. You know, last year, I don't go for that. We're kicking the football there, and that's nothing against Simon. It's just when you're executing like we are in practice with that package, and then we've done it week 1, you've done it week 2, and then it was working today. It's just, you don't second guess yourself, you believe in your kids, and you call it and go.
Past couple,
Go ahead.
the past couple of weeks, Bryce has been kind of very safety net on third down and things like that. How do you feel Brady did today with him gone and the other receivers filling in?
I thought he did well. Like I said, I thought the way Quamsey played early in the game, it just gave Brady so much confidence. And then Corey did some really good things. Of course, George Seal coming through today made some nice plays. But we were, we want to be better on third down than we were today. But a little bit that was play calling. I knew we were going to go for it on fourth down, so we opted to run the football or throw a little bit shorter routes.
Obviously, the front seven on the defense gets a lot of attention. How would you say your DBs have performed up to this point in the season?
I think well. I think their preparation's been well. Anytime you play a team like Central, they line up in a lot of formations, and a lot of times when offenses do that, defenses take, and this is my opinion, take the easy way out, and they say, well, we'll do this to that bunch set, and basically what they end up doing is checking and playing zone the entire time, and that's what the offense wants you to do, and our guys didn't do that, and it takes a lot of time and energy to get your kids lined up right. The kids have to make checks based on motion, who they have on the field, where they're lined up, and I think they've been playing well, and I've just been really pleased with their preparation.
Early in the week, it looked like Bevins and Longacre weren't going to be able to play. At what point did they become available? What point did
Bevins was until Thursday. Longacre was late Wednesday. That's, and again, to be clear, I don't go to that Tuesday press conference trying to give people bad information. That's not what I'm trying to do. But when you guys ask me those questions on Tuesday, at that point, I got to give you the information I have at the time. So Longacre was late Wednesday. We went through the practice, and he I'm good to go. And then Bevins was just a protocol deal, and he kind of went through the protocol, and then the medical people cleared him, and that was again late Thursday, like 2:30, and then we practiced, and he was ready to go.
anything you're still watching with either of them moving forward?
No, not after what I saw today. Seriously, I think they look good, and honestly, I don't get into much of that. I really trust our medical people, and Kelly does such a great job. She just says they can go or they can't. And she pulled Phil Jackson a little bit later today. I think it's just a contusion, and I think he's going to be okay. But she just said he can't go, and so we don't ever question them. We just next man up and go.
What about Bryce? How close was he being able to go today?
He's close. He's got a little bit of a foot deal, and he's a tough kid. He's trying to go. He wanted to go, but he's still having some issues with it. So honestly, we probably won't know on him until right before we're ready to leave next week for Oklahoma. He's a guy. He's got so much experience. He doesn't need a lot of practice.
All right, thanks.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one. Be safe going home.